Delicate subject, and those of us with pets, we love them, and when we lose them, we really grieve.
Yeah, and it's hard to cope with it. And actually, there's something new with this. I didn't know that the vet could actually come to you when it's time to put down your pet. Dr. Jyl Rubin joins us this morning. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Yeah, we've known you have a mobile service, which in general is very convenient, but it really struck me when it's time to say goodbye to your pet, it's one less stress for them that they're at home and they don't have to make that one last trip to the vet's office. That's a terrific idea.
Yeah, it definitely helps with the comfort of putting your pet down, and they're in their own home. It helps the owner grieve a little bit easier, and just knowing that the pet doesn't have to actually get in the car and travel can be a lot more comfortable for you and your pet.
Well, you have got your arms full of cats there, by the way.
What do you need to think about when the time comes? I know when it happened for me, I didn't know what to do. I just grabbed the phone book and kind of looked through some vet's offices. What do you need to do?
Well, I think it's important to establish a relationship with a veterinarian you like. That's really important. Get to know them. I've had people actually interview me. They've had me out a few times prior to knowing when their pet needs to be put down, and that seems to help the bond a little bit. We get to know the animal a little bit better as well, too.
Jyl, we're looking on screen now at some tips for coping with your pet's death. If you could help us through those. The first one says allow yourself to feel the emotion.
Absolutely. You know, it's like losing a family member. It's very important. Most people are closer to their animals than they are to their own family members. So when you lose a pet, it's very difficult.
Okay, and then if we can get the screen back up, express your feelings. I think we understand that one. This last one is interesting. Seek counseling if necessary. I presume there are grief counselors available. We get those through our psychiatrist, or do we get those through the veterinary office?
Usually through a psychiatrist, but there are pet grief counselors now. There's specialties in psychology. People have actually specialized in grief and loss for your pet. Very acceptable. Some companies actually give time off for that now because people are so close with their animals and their pets that it's important to feel the loss and understand your emotion. It's okay to be sad.
Hey, and doctor, when it comes to actually the process of putting down your pet, not all pets get a sedative before this happens?
Right. Make sure to ask your veterinarian first, do you give a sedative prior to the euthanasia? It really helps with the process. We like to sedate them heavily first so that they don't feel anything, and it puts them into a nice sedative state where they don't feel any pain. They're in kind of a la-la land, and they feel so much better, and the owner can grieve and pet the animal, and the animal can still hear and see you. But it's almost like somebody drinking a double martini. It just takes them out a little bit, makes them feel good.
Well, I know it's a really hard part of your job, but it makes people saying goodbye to their pets a lot easier. Thanks for the great job you do, Jyl. We'll talk to you next week, all right?
Thank you.
You bet. And if you have a question for Dr. Jyl, check out our website at drjyl, it's JYL.com, or you can call her up. The number is there on your screen, 916-989-0738.